Where are we going?
I don't know, but we're on our way.
Hello again. This is Susan and
Brendan.
And we're doing another episode of Tea and Talk Time, focusing on
Critical Role.
Critical Role
talk.
Exactly. And
we're in a new setting.
Yeah.
Today.
Yes. We are in his world today.
Indeed.
Yes. This is where he does all of his live streaming and
my video creations.
Yes. And like what is the... You don't do Fallout, do you?
No, I do Destiny content.
Okay, that's
it. It is youtube.com/BuckeyeGG. I got a nice URL.
G. Oh, okay. Buckeye dot.
That's youtube.com/BuckeyeGG.
GG.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. When I saw that it was there, I was like, yes, please. Because I've had this really, really outdated URL. It was when I first made it back in 2012. It's TechGoVR.
Oh, yeah, all those...
Woo!
All that ancient time ago.
Yes, ancient time.
You want to talk ancient time? I can tell you about ancient time.
But into today's
Yes, video. Yes. So we are in his world. This is his setup. This is where he lives. This is where he creates. This is where he does all that fun stuff. And he's pretty clever.
Sure. Try to be.
Yeah, don't argue with me. He's clever. Anyway, we thought we would talk about episode 97, which is the most recent. Today is Sunday, Mother's Day, actually.
Yes, Mother's Day.
And that's why I'm over here, because his father made dinner or brunch in between lunch and dinner for me and his mother-in-law and his mom. It was very good. Very good. So today's Sunday, so yeah, we will make this before the next episode comes out. In the last episode, when last we saw our...
daring adventurers.
Oh, yes. Very daring.
Very.
And we're not talking Tyrion Darrington.
No.
Although he was there. It was funny. It focused on... Just previous to that, it had focused on Pike.
Yes.
And her relatives showing up out of nowhere and saying there was a curse. And
I'll be honest, I was on board, actually.
What do you mean? You were there?
No, I mean, like, I was digging the idea. It's like, oh, this could be interesting.
It could, yeah. I was
actually
too.
Believe them somehow.
Well, and that's how they presented themselves, the little stinkers. Won't say too much more about it. We don't want to do much of a spoiler on it. But this episode that we're going to talk about picks up right after the majority of them left, and it was just our gang.
Yes.
And one of them who Pike arranged to stay with her to help expose her to better things and nurture her and bring her up in the ways of Saren Ray.
Yeah, put her in a little bit of a better situation.
A much better situation, just like... can't think of what his name is, but he took her away from the family at a young age to do the same thing. So that's where it starts. And this is after they had a year off.
Yes, the year time skip.
The year time skip. I heard that somewhere.
Time jump, actually, because you think about if it was a time skip, then we'll just forget whatever happened in the year. We don't care.
True. Some of it, and they said they had a blast doing it. Some of it, they all went over to Matt's house, and it was like old times. They said how they used to sit around the table and come and go and do this, that, and the other. So they would say, well, this is what I want to do during this time. And then they would roll to see, how it evolved and whether it worked or not. And it was pretty interesting to see how Matt handled that and fast forwarded them through that time. Just about every one of them was looking for Scanlan. In
some way, shape, or form.
In some way, shape, or form, and nobody can find him. Vex had Tyrion.
Yeah, Vex had Tyrion. They kind of befriended each other.
Yeah, he had her. She had him stay with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they got on real good, and he made her a special armor.
Well, the armor was made elsewhere.
And he enchanted it.
Yeah, and he spent a very long time enchanting
I
it.
think it was like 5 months, an hour a day he had to spend doing that.
Yeah.
So there were neat little things. I didn't quite catch what Grog did other than go back and compete in something.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping it vague, not only because of my brain, but because I don't want to give too much away if you haven't seen episode 96 yet. And it seemed like somebody, it was a rumor that Tyrion was, am I saying it right? I can never say it.
Yeah, Tyrion. Mm-hmm.
That he was going to go find his father or something, but he didn't.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. I say it was episode 94 before the time skip. Because 95 is when they officially came back. I believe 94. Towards the end, he was thinking about. At this point, he's kind of completed everything he was maybe looking to do, and he felt confident enough to go approach his father again. But then he decided not to do that and to stay with his adventures. So that's what happened in 94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did open a bakery.
They did. Super successful, too.
And if I'm not mistaken, they had mentioned it as an offhanded remark
it
on
was.
Talks Machina.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And then they went, you know what? Yeah, let's do this, And they were like kids again playing the game at Matt's place. So that's the fun of watching Talks Machina, is you get a lot of the inside stuff that they don't have time to go and do on the show.
Right, agreed.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. They did a real good job about, addressing several things and putting them through their paces and getting them where they wanted them to go. And I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they kind of explored some avenues for each individual character that have been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of helps flesh out the character a little bit more.
Yeah.
Put a little bit more. I mean, there's already a lot of depth to each character, but just a little bit more to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and it kind of breathes new life into things.
That fresh start usually does that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good.
Yeah, I agree.
And they broke a record because they can no longer say that Kiki's never died.
Everyone has officially died.
Officially.
Most of them valiantly.
And it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Not so much.
And she goes, "What? Are you sure? What?" and Matt had said 3 times what the situation was, and
might as well
it
just go
didn't
ahead and
register.
describe the situation here, just so in case they didn't see it and they want to know. We're already talking about her dying anyway, so might as well explain it.
Might as well.
So it picked up where the majority of the party was on top of this really, really high mountain. Really high mountain, like 1,000+ feet. And Vex had lost a very expensive diamond in the water below. So she went down there and was trying to get it out of the water. She found out where it was, but it was too deep for her to go and get it herself.
Yep.
So knowing Keyleth being able to do those things, she asked Keyleth to come down and go get it for her. Keyleth's like, okay, cool, no problem.
And she takes a running...
Yeah, she took a running start, failed her jump.
And leaped.
Didn't get very far, and just went going down. But she did not realize that this was not it was not a cliff.
It's not straight down,
right.
And then there's the water.
It's a mountain, so it gradually went out. She did not expect that. So
Matt said this, I know for sure 2 times,
yes,
possibly 3.
Yep.
And it didn't register.
So as she's going down, she made a smart decision. She did a gust of wind to kind of push her away.
Yes.
Give her some distance. That was a good idea. But
it wasn't
Matt
enough.
said, specifically after that, you have 50-50 chance hitting rock or hitting water.
Yep.
And she was like, okay. I'll shapeshift into a goldfish.
Yeah, that should be...
2 flaws with that idea. 2 flaws. Firstly, you still have the 50-50 chance of hitting the water or hitting rock. If I was playing, would have turned into a bird because I would already been close enough at that point where I could just fly down and then do whatever else I needed to do.
She wasn't thinking that. She was thinking
she
water.
wanted it spectacular.
She was focused on the water.
The second mistake she made was turning into a goldfish. You have all these options with so many hit points. You choose the thing with 1 hit point.
Not only that, but she can do elemental changes.
Right.
She could turn into a gust of wind.
Yeah.
And then change into something else. I mean,
But she chose the goldfish.
She was focused on the water.
So she expected to hit water, did not hit water, hit the ground, and...
Splat.
As Matt explained it, the fish went away, and all of a sudden there's just this incredibly red Keyleth floating in the water. And
300
Vex,
and some points of damage.
I think it was like 342
it was
hit points
yeah.
or something
It
like
seems
that.
like it was close to 350, so yeah.
Yeah. So Vex is just sitting there watching Keyleth come out and poof, splat. Yeah, that was... and everyone was just in disbelief. It was amazing.
But they were all laughing.
Travis would not stop laughing. He was busting out everywhere.
He split a gut, and even when it finally registered to Marisha what she had just done, she was in hysterics. I mean, she was cracking up.
It looked like she was almost in a conflicting emotion of like, I can't believe I just did that. This is awful. I'm dead. And then also,
this is so
incredibly hilarious. Yeah.
Play it back in your mind is what you just did.
Right.
Because she did the gesture. She went,
yeah.
She ran and then she leapt off. And it was
It seemed
funny.
that she just never quite understood what Matt was trying to explain to her, even though, I mean, everyone in the chat understood what was happening, but Marisha just didn't quite get it.
It didn't sink in. She was focused on, because I think, I don't know, she didn't say this, but I think it was because, she was focused on water.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept forgetting about that little part of land here, rock, down at the bottom of the cliff, So
That's great.
They can no longer say that she hasn't.
Yeah.
So
Everyone
now they
has
have all
officially died.
experienced death.
Mm-hmm.
And since we've already explained this, she had a stone. Vex had a coin of revivify that Tyrion had given her
From the previous battle.
So she had it, and she could immediately use it, and therefore she was no longer dead.
Yeah.
Because it's with any other character, you do something like that, you're dead. And I think Revivify has to be used within a minute.
Yeah, I think it's like within a minute.
So
60
it's
seconds.
like an immediate thing. Otherwise, you can't bring them back once you've lost that many hit points. It's an automatic death unless you have something special like that on hand.
Right.
So it was like, well, she's going to die. She chose
She chose the right way to get a new character.
Yes, she sure did. It was very spectacular. So it was. I mean, I was laughing and giggling, and Tramp went, yeah, what's going on? And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
And even Matt was in hysterics. And
He was like, I can't believe with everything I told you still did that.
So it was
It was
fun.
great. Yeah.
Yes, it was quite the tension breaker.
What a way to break the ice on the next episode. Start the episode. Oh, you're dead. Okay.
But it was cool. It was cool. There were a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of undercurrents, and I don't remember offhand where they are headed.
I didn't watch the second half of the episode, so I'm not sure.
I haven't either yet.
I watched up until they found out that Hilda had the fake one.
Not too much. Not too much.
We're talking about
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! We should have a little thing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Okay, yeah. Spoiler alert. So come back in a couple seconds or something.
Yeah.
I only got up to where.
Stop listening.
Yeah, the fake Hilda had Tyrion. That's as far as I got up to.
Okay, so yeah, that's as much as we need to say.
Yeah, because I didn't see anything else anyway, so don't spoil it for me either.
Yeah, I know a little bit more than that, but not the whole thing. So, but it was a good episode. It was fun. It's one of the benefits of subscribing to Geek and Sundry. That you can go at any time and watch any of the episodes.
You don't have to wait till Monday when it's on the website. You can just watch it.
Yeah, and they have a screen where you bring up the video connection, and all the shows are there. That's on Geek and Sundry, and within immediately after the show airs live.
Yeah, it just goes right up on the past broadcast.
I don't think there's any sort of delay.
I think it's honestly, when it comes to those things, it's like a minute or two.
Yeah.
That's it.
The turnaround on it is pretty fast. Like so, yeah. And so you can watch it the next day. You can watch it later that night.
And I actually prefer... Speak is great. I actually prefer to watch it. If I missed it, I actually prefer to watch it on the Twitch past broadcast as opposed to on YouTube. Simply because, for me personally, the experience of watching Critical Role is greatly enhanced by the chat. I don't know why, but I love seeing the chat reaction to things. So it brings another layer on to Critical Role. And the past broadcast now, only recently have Twitch done this, they include the chat replay with it as well. So
it adds an extra ingredient, an extra little spice.
And it makes you feel like you're watching... Oh, spice?
I was waiting.
It makes you feel like you're there watching with other people, which for me is enjoyable.
Yeah, and you get to judge your reactions by their reactions, and I didn't think of that, and stuff like that. But it goes so fast,
especially when crazy things happen. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's difficult to read it sometimes, but it does add that extra element.
Yeah.
To the viewing, it does definitely enhance it. Right. And like we just said, you spice. So many one-liners, quotable phrases. What's the other way to describe them? Have come out of this show. Now, the first one I think that caught on was the "How do you want to do this?"
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Everybody loved that.
It's so tempting in our home games to, when something like that happens, to say that. 'Cause it provides an interesting element, like when you're fighting something, I don't know, for me, it makes it more satisfying. When instead of like, okay, it's dead, it's like, how do you want to do this? It's just that mystery of when is that going to be spoken to you.
Well, what just occurred to me is that how do you want to do this kind of puts it back in the player's hand.
Right. Yeah.
Because most DMs will tell you what happened. And so when Matt says that, it's like, okay, how do you want to do this?
Right.
And so you have a say in it as well. You already know I'm dealing the killer blow on the bad guy, but you get to say how
it occurs,
and why it occurs. Slash him across the neck, whatever. But with most other DMs, it's this is what happened. Yep, you got him, he's dead. But I like how Matt does it because it brings the player into it again.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yep. So
what's some other ones?
Well, most recently, they've been getting dice from Gil. He's a lot of things, but one of the things he does is he has a hobby of blacksmithing, I guess.
Oh, is that where Matt got that like metal?
The metal D20s.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's why, I guess he gave them to everybody. I don't know, but that's why I think it was Keyleth, Marisha, who first started saying, "Don't fuck me, Gil." She'd reach for that dice, "Don't fuck me, Gil." And she'd roll it. Sorry, and that became a catchphrase. As well. there's somebody has a T-shirt with that on it.
I haven't seen it, but I also haven't. That's one that's slowly catching on.
Yes.
It's not as prominent.
Yeah. But it's, and he's been on, I can't, other people will know his name. He's been on Talks Machina.
Okay.
He made, if I'm not mistaken, he made the big shield that hangs behind the DM.
That would make sense if he's a blacksmith. That would be interesting.
Okay. But he's also an actor. He's an artist. He's, he's a lot of different things according to what I saw.
All
Gil Ramirez or something like that is his name. So, that's where that phrase came from. Don't, they go to reach for that big die, and it's like, don't fuck me, Gil. Dice jail.
Yes, the dice jail. We've actually, it's funny because I've talked to you just a couple times, be like, is that going in the jail?
Yeah.
After a bad roll.
No, it's going out the window.
Vex has
backyard is right there. Off it goes. Yeah, she's funny, and somebody even asked her, does she ever play with the dice again once they go to jail? And she says, yeah, at the end of the show, she puts them all in the dice bag and they get another chance. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, then it starts all over again.
You'd think with the amount of dice that she keeps on accumulating, she wouldn't have a problem ever actually just getting rid of them.
Probably not. But then, you get... I'm attached to my dice.
Yeah, I want to accumulate as much dice as I could possibly get. That's for sure.
We'll get one of those big pickle jars.
Yeah. Just fill them. Which ones do I want to do today?
Get your head out of the jar so we can start playing, okay? Let's see, what else have they come up with? Dagger.
Yep. Dagger.
Of course, that's Vax.
Yep.
Being the rogue.
Dodie, write this down.
Oh, and that's a new one. And it was hilarious the first time the new Dodie was there, and it can speak.
Yeah.
It says one word. Terry. With different inflections. Matt cracks me up. I mean,
only him can make one word mean so many things.
Yep.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. He's...
Something else.
Yeah, just can't say enough about the master. What else?
Let's see here.
There's a ton of them. I thought of, I was laying in bed one night and I'm going, oh yeah, there's that. And, oh yeah, there's that. And now that we're talking about it, I can't remember.
I know,
anymore.
Writing them down would definitely be an idea next time. My brain's empty of them.
Sometimes I'll have a cheat sheet, but it will just say generally what I'm talking about. And very rarely is it specific because it's not scripted. And and especially in this case, we're talking about something that's not scripted.
Yeah.
There are sections of the story that Matt has written out ahead of time. But other than that, what they do and the roles and everything, that's not scripted. It's all player driven.
Yeah.
And my regular, I almost said Talks Machina. My regular tea and talk time is not scripted either. When you go visit somebody, do you usually have a cheat sheet?
No.
Are you usually reading your lines?
No.
So the whole premise of tea and talk time was chatting with someone who stops by and well, what are you doing? How you feeling? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's usually what's going on in your mind at the time. And we all know mine is pretty sketchy on a good day. But to have anything written out, it wouldn't seem honest to me.
Yeah, it makes a different feel for it when you have it written out, more of the scripted type, as opposed to when you're unscripted, then everything you're saying is real time. It's just whatever's going on at that moment.
Right.
If you're scripted, you're following along something pre-planned, which has its place, just not in everything.
No. And in this type of scenario, I don't think it would be interesting at all.
Yeah, no.
And that's turning people into actors, and you use your creativity, of course, but I'm not playing a part. I'm just me.
Right.
Brendan's just playing Brendan,
Mm-hmm.
and this is us. Take it or leave it. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's
Indeed.
just the way it is. But yeah, I can't think of another one-liner.
Either can I. That would be, maybe we could touch on that in a future episode after
Yeah.
compiling some of those ideas down a little bit.
Yeah. Or you could put
Leave them in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments,
Tell
put
us.
your favorite one-liner.
Mm-hmm.
We only mentioned 3 or 4, and I know there's at least 6 more. At least. Easy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, is it Thursday yet?
Duh!
Just thought about that one.
Well, no, not yet, but it's coming up soon.
It's coming.
And first we'll be seeing Talks Machina.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's been an interesting few episodes.
It definitely has. I'm curious to see what... You could tell Matt's in the cultivating, bring them along into what the story is going to be driven into. You can tell that's what's happening right now. So I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious what happens when they actually start getting into the this new arc. See what happens in that.
I think he's doing a lot of almost, one-shots with different, like he had the curse with Spike.
Mm-hmm.
Spike.
Spike.
I just mixed up Spice and Pike,
Spike, yep.
and came out with Spike. I'll have to let her know she has a different name.
Right.
But just like that was a one-shot. He did it
Essentially,
all
yeah.
one night.
Yeah, you could tell he wanted to get that done and over with.
Yeah, because that one went 20 minutes long.
It was like a 4.5-hour episode, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, to me, going long now is after 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get used to the really long ones.
Yeah. So there was that, and now we're focusing in on Tyrion.
Tyrion. You got it.
Tyrion.
Mm-hmm.
When you're having one of those days, have a nice ice cold Sprite. We didn't do that yet. Product
Sure.
placement. That's what it's called.
Yes.
I was trying to
Ooh,
remember what it
should do
was.
that
You
next
have
time.
Dr. Pepper.
I do have Dr. Pepper. This episode brought to you by not Dr. Pepper and not Sprite.
That's right. They don't want to come anywhere near us. What were we just talking about?
I think we're basically wrapping up in a roundabout way.
Yeah. But, in the comment section, you put your favorite one-liner.
Yes. Let us know.
Or
Any ones that we missed.
A favorite little scene. Of course, Victor.
Victor is definitely my all-time favorite
NPC.
character situation ever in Critical Role.
Yeah. He is
amazing.
he is hilarious. And you guys already know that. So, yeah. Put in the comments your favorite character, your favorite one-liners, and then we can touch on that the next time we get together.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, shall we say
Shall we?
adieu?
We shall.
Adieu.
Adieu.
Aha! He said it better than me. So, anyway, I'm glad you guys stopped by. Hope you had a good time. Hope you take care of yourself. And until the next time, take care and God bless.
Is
Bye
it
for
Thursday
now.
yet?
Not yet.
It'll get here eventually.